Well, the story begins of this YouTube channel. I'm the Lebaustralian, call me Will, and this will be the first episode of the Lebaustralian show, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so in here, basically, I would do everything like I put on my description. I'm going to do lists, I'm going to do reviews, top 10s, reactions to everything. I like wrestling, as you can see from my backdrop. Excuse the toilet paper. I got like I picked the poster of Eric Bischoff. I met Eric Bischoff. I met Candice Michelle. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna put the pictures that I have of me meeting New Day, the Young Bucks, even at one point. And at the same time, I'm a fan of so many things. Like look at these pop vinyls. You can see some Dragon Ball stuff, some Yu-Gi-Oh over there. You got The Undertaker. Obviously, I'm a big fan of WWE, and much more. Like, I'll do a separate video regarding all the stuff that I have on that shelf. But I thought for the first episode, let's talk about one of my favorite game franchises of all time, Mortal Kombat. What a history. 25, 26, even more, 28 years. Since 1992, Mortal Kombat has been really traumatizing both us and our parents worldwide. From the first game that really solidified its status as a gore fest, to the creation of the SRB rating, partially because of Mortal Kombat, all the way to the Mortal Kombat 11 game, which is pretty impressive. But this is what we're here for. So pretty much we're going to rate every single, almost every single Mortal Kombat game, including the spin-off. So the Jax game and the Sub-Zero game, Mythologies and Special Forces, they're both going to be on this video. So yeah, let's get cracking. So the first one, it's Mortal Kombat 2. Everything that the first game did, but better, right? So Mortal Kombat 2, I think it came out in 1993, correct me if I'm wrong. What a game. I mean, seriously, if the first game was considered by everyone to be gory and bloody and violent, Mortal Kombat 2 was like, hold my beer, am I right? So, Mortal Kombat 2, where do we place it? Do we place it on S, on A, B, C, or D? Personally, I wouldn't put it on S, even though it's really great. You also gotta look at it from a modern perspective, right? I mean, it'd be fun, but I wouldn't consider it the best Mortal Kombat game of all time. I wouldn't consider that top tier. I'm gonna go with A. So let's start Mortal Kombat 2 in A. Oh, and then in each, by the way, I just want to mention that you know how there's S, A, B, C, and D. In each row, at the end of the video, I'm going to do them in a row, like from the worst to the best in that category, or in that tier. Alright, next game. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. I don't know about that one. It's rough. It's pretty rough, like, because I think at that point you had Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, and I think it came out around the same time Mortal Kombat 4 came out, so around the time that these guys went to 3D, and you still had that 2D Mortal Kombat game. Now there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I don't know. Something about this one just really left a bad taste in my mouth. I played it as a kid. I remember I played like the first section, and then I find myself getting crushed by those giant pillars thing, and I was like, nah, fuck this game. Really, fuck it all. So, is it on D? I think it is. I think this game, Mortal Kombat Mythologies, can go to D. Can go to the Netherrealm. Alright, now we got Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. The first iteration of Mortal Kombat on the 6th generation of video games. I was thinking 7th or 6th. It's the 7th generation. Wait, no, 6th generation. What's wrong with me? The 6th generation of consoles. Kinda lackluster, isn't it? It's kinda lackluster. Like, yeah, oh, it was great. The fatalities were. Oh, who am I kidding? It was dumpster fire, wasn't it? Mechanically, gameplay-wise, it was okay. The 3D was okay, but it was so bare bones. It was so limited. I'm not sure if you can enjoy it for too long. Character only one fatality. Each character had only one fatality. The entire game. No harakiris, not yet at least. No babalities, no animalities, no... I don't think there was even any stage fatalities. But at the same time, it's... is it bad? Is it D-list? Is it D-list worthy? No. It's not D-list worthy. I think I'm going to go with C. C is reasonable. Let's move on to Mortal Kombat Deception now. For Mortal Kombat Deception, are you ready for something a bit controversial? Because I know that most people hate the PS2 games. They hate the 3D era of Mortal Kombat. The characters were bland. The graphics were a bit, like, I get it. But at the same time, ready for something controversial? 3, 2, 1. The best 3D game. The best 3D game. Honestly. It had the chess combat, which was so fun. It had conquest mode, which was also very, very entertaining. The story of Chijinko being tricked by Onaga, and now he has to stop him. It also had something like Tetris. I forgot the name of it. Puzzle Combat, maybe, which was also very entertaining. And it's easy to play, but hard to master. It had a lot of good things going for it. So yeah, for me, honest, and of course, it had a really good roster. It wasn't bloated like another game that I mentioned, Armageddon, but it was good enough. It was even better than good enough. Honestly, it was actually very, very entertaining. It's my favorite again. It's my favorite 3D game era, Mortal Kombat. So for me, it's an S. Now, is it going to be on top of S? We'll see. What was that? What was that? I'm gonna edit that out. No, it's not. No. All right.
Nope.
Moving on. Mortal Kombat 4. Okay. Now this one, again, ready for controversy? Most people are probably gonna put it like C or D, right? Like horrible graphics. Gameplay was It was the first 3D game. Not many people really enjoyed it, and it's considered one of the weaker Mortal Kombat games. So, where would I rate it? Ready? Yep. It was decent. All right. Tell you what, Mortal Kombat 4. At least it had 2 fatalities for each character. At least there were stage fatalities. At least it felt a bit. I don't know. It just felt a bit more gory, more gritty, the way that Mortal Kombat should be. And for me, I would put it on B. And I think that's the Mortal Kombat game that I played the most as a kid. Yeah, played Mortal Kombat as a kid. But no, seriously, and I'm from Lebanon, so in Lebanon, Mortal Kombat 4 was the shit. Like, everyone played Mortal Kombat 4. Lebanese people watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. Mortal Kombat 4, the fatalities, the gore, it was good. Now, I know compared to the other games I'm gonna mention later, it's not that great. But for me, I'm biased. I'm sorry, I'm biased. But for this is going to be on B. Now, moving on to Mortal Kombat 3. Ooh. Again, Mortal Kombat 1, Pioneer. Mortal Kombat 2, even better. Mortal Kombat 3. I mean, is there much to say about it? The roster was a bit Nightwolf, Striker, a policeman. I mean, I think this is the game where we had Sector and Cyrax, right? So we had that at least. But there was no Scorpion. Now, Scorpion is not my favorite, not even close. Fucking Mortal Kombat 11. But, come on, really? No Scorpion? The symbol, the mascot of the game, and he wasn't there. So, I think it's only fair that I put it on C. It's only fair to put the game on C. Now moving on to Mortal Kombat X / Mortal Kombat XL and I'm gonna put it on top of A because I think part of the new generation era for me, Mortal Kombat 9 to X and 11 or 10. I think X was the weakest because not bad, but the weakest. And it's just introduced a lot of new characters, right? Like Devora, Aaron Black, Ferrator, Tremor, kind of. We also had Jason Voorhees, Alien, Predator. But at the same time, the story was kind of a wet fart, really. The story was a wet fart. The gameplay was amazing. Like, it was really good. But story-wise, it's the weakest. It's the weakest of all three. Of MK9, X, and 11, X is the weakest. The guest characters were great, but yeah, nah, for me, this is like the weaker of the three. But, like I said, like I put it on A. So it doesn't mean that it's a bad game. Oh, no, not even close. I remember I was so excited to get X and I was so impressed. The only reason it's on A is because looking back at it, there are games that I've enjoyed more. There are Mortal Kombat games that I've enjoyed more. So moving on. Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. This is one Mortal Kombat game that I've never played. I'm gonna put it in D because I heard that it's not that great. But you tell me. I actually don't know. Moving on to Mortal Kombat Gold. I'm not even gonna explain it too much. I'm gonna put it next to 4. Like, it gave us, I think, Sector, Cyrax, Baraka, and Melina. I think. They added those characters, but it's still the same game. I've never played Gold myself, but I'm gonna assume it's just like Mortal Kombat 4, but with those 4 extra characters. Was it only 4? I think for Mortal Kombat 4, there's also a way to get Noob Saibot and Meat. I mean, who cares about Meat? Alright. Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat 2011. No. Top of S. My favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time. The best Mortal Kombat game of all time. Fighting. Seriously. It had everything for it. It introduced the X-rays, which were brutal. Seeing the skulls crack for the first time. The graphics were great for the time. The fatalities, the story, everything about it. Everything about it was amazing. The challenge towers that I've enjoyed so much. It had Freddy Krueger. It had Kratos if you had a PS3. It had Rain. Introduced us to Scarlet. It had an amazing roster full of Mortal Kombat originals. It was the creme de la creme of Mortal Kombat games. And I think for me, it's more than worthy to be on ST, honestly. Not only to be on ST, but also to be the best Mortal Kombat game of all time, according to me, of course. If you have a different opinion, of course I can respect that. Moving on to Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Alright. This one. I have a lot of fond memories of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. And I think if you want to make a 3D Mortal Kombat game, a 3D action-adventure Mortal Kombat game, that's it. That's the one that you should put for yourself. That's the one that you should boot for yourself on your PlayStation 2 console. It's a bit short, it's a bit on the shorter side, but the gameplay was so crisp. The gameplay was so solid. The graphics for the time were great. The boss fights were hard, but not impossible. It was great. Everything about it was great. And it's kind of a 3D Metroidvania. You can go to some areas, you can go back to older areas, and you get more stuff and more bonuses if you play like in a multiplayer with a friend of yours, or a brother or a sister or whatever. Where should I put it? Should I put it in A or S? Like, is it S worthy? I'll put it in here. Yeah, I think I'll put it in the middle between Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat XL. Do I want a reboot? No. I want a sequel. So, where it all began. Mortal Kombat 1. Came out in 1992 to the absolute shock and awe of all kids worldwide, and to the shock and horror of all parents worldwide. Seeing a spine rip, seeing someone burn to a crisp, seeing a lady kiss someone and then they blow up or burn up or something, seeing someone rip another guy in half and just chucking the upper torso away, seeing someone do a cartwheel and uppercut. Wait, don't worry about the last one. Yeah, that Liu Kang fatality was shit, wasn't it? Mortal Kombat, the first one, I played it. Now, should I put it in the bottom T because it's unplayable right now and I get aged horribly? Or should I put it in S because it gave us the blessing that is Mortal Kombat? Yeah. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of S because obviously we're not gonna be able to play it right now. Like, very, very old. And like Street Fighter 2, for example, it's in a very, very old game, but you can still play it somewhat. This one, Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So we have 5 more games. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Again, for me, top of B. I understand why people hate this game. I understand why people hate Mortal Kombat Armageddon. The roster was bloated, like 60-something characters, even the ones that we don't really give a damn about. So how? There's also like, there was not even fatalities at all. There was no fatalities at all. You have to create a fatality, which was pretty shit, honestly. Like, it would have worked on someone like Goro and Kentaro to just rip arms and heads and stuff. But then when you're doing it like Shang Tsung, why would you use your physical ability? That's not what you are. If you're Shang Tsung or Quan Chi or Scorpion, it just didn't make sense to me. Honestly, yeah. But then again, it's not that bad. The Conquest was the best 3D Mortal Kombat game since Shaolin Monks. Like, Conquest of Mortal Kombat Deception was great, but the one in Mortal Kombat Armageddon was even better because it was a 3D fighting. In Conquest and Deception, you didn't really fight, you just ran around, did stuff, the Shinnok and Shang Tsung and whatever. And there's also Mortal Kombat, which was like Mario Kart, but M-rated. I loved it. Alright, we got 4 more games. I'll just put these together. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. For Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. It's also a game that I played a lot, and I feel like it's the best 2D game before Mortal Kombat 2011 came out. For me, it's not as good as Mortal Kombat 2, mainly because Mortal Kombat 2 is more of a pioneer. Trilogy just added more characters, and of course added you got all the animalities, babalities, brutalities, fatalities, and all that. I'll put it less than Mortal Kombat 2, but still an A. I'll put these two together, the PlayStation version, I guess.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it's Special Forces, Jackson Briggs. Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, sorry. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 3, but better. I'll put it below Trilogy, because Trilogy just added more characters. Added, I think, Rain and Raiden and Baraka. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Kano. Yeah, Ultimate Mortal Kombat. So Trilogy is a bit better than Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is not that bad. It's actually great. It's actually one of the better Mortal Kombat games there is. So I think it's more than worthy to be on the A list. At the bottom, maybe. And finally, at the end of this video, we're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat 2011. Mortal Kombat 2011. I know that it sparked some controversy when it first came out because of the microtransaction-heavy, business-oriented, greedy business management of NetherRealm Studios. But they fixed it very quickly, and honestly, I forgive them for that, because I think this is the most cared about Mortal Kombat game ever. Like, they're still developing new things for it, especially with the idea of a third combat pack coming out. I think Mortal Kombat 11 is actually amazing. The graphics are amazing. The fatalities, the brutalities, the story was alright. Mortal Kombat 2011 was a bit better, but it was still alright. For me, it's like in the middle. What else did we talk about it? The guest characters. You had Joker, Terminator, Spawn, who's almost my main now. I think he's my main. You got Shang Tsung by Kerry freaking Tagawa. They really worked hard on this one. And I'm gonna tell you a little funny story about Mortal Kombat 2011. So, I expected it to be announced at E3 2018, and then they did it, and I was so devastated. I was like, oh, so they're skipping Mortal Kombat for this year. And then at the Game Awards, they finally announced Mortal Kombat 2011. I was on a fishing trip with my mate. We barely had any service, and I was still trying my absolute best to put my phone like as high as humanly possible, just so I can have like a tiny bit of signal to hear about Mortal Kombat 11 news. And as soon as I saw that it was like a screenshot of Scorpion doing this, like dabbing, I guess, and after going through Raiden, and they said Mortal Kombat 2011 announced, I couldn't stop screaming for 5 minutes. Is it the best Mortal Kombat game of all time? No. It's the second best Mortal Kombat game of all time. Fucking fight me. There you have it. that's my tier list. So I did say at the end of the video, I was just gonna check if this is indeed how I want it to be. So on S tier, we got Mortal Kombat 2011, Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat Deception, original Mortal Kombat. Should I put the original Mortal Kombat in A or even B? Like, it is S-worthy for what it was back then, but is it worth it now? No. I think I'm gonna put it in the bottom of A. But am I gonna put anything on S? Nah, I think that's it. Mortal Kombat XL, Shaolin Monks, Mortal Kombat 2, Trilogy again, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and the original Mortal Kombat. I think that makes more sense. And B, we got Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which was decent, just a step down Deception. Mortal Kombat Gold, which was the same as Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat 4, because for me, it's a bias thing. C are the ones that were okay, but kind of lackluster. You got Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat 3. I mean, the reason there was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is because Ed Boon and John Tobias probably found out, like, yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 sounds a bit lacking, seems a bit lacking. So they made the UMK. And finally, the rubbish bin. Mythology, Sub-Zero, DC Universe, Tournament Edition, and Special Forces. Now here, which one should be at the bottom? I feel like Sub-Zero should be on the top. Like, it needed a couple of tweakings, it would have been at least a B. I'll put Tournament Edition after, because at least they knew it was limited, like it's a Game Boy Advance. Oh, and one more thing before we go, if you want to give me any videos to watch for next time, because the next time I'm going to do a reaction, so send me videos, put in the comments down below what you want me to watch and react to and give my thoughts. You can, again, anything. Give me anything. Give me stand-up comedy. Give me anything wrestling related. Give me anything history related. Harry Potter, Dragon Ball, music, heavy metal mostly. I don't like R&B. Unless you can send me an R&B song that's going to change my mind. Anything. Send me absolutely anything and I'm going to react to it, which will be my next video. Now, when's my next video? I'll try to upload on either Monday or Tuesday. This video is going to probably come out on Saturday or even Friday night, Australian time. And yep, I'll see you in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that malarkey. And again, comment below what you want me to watch. And hope you enjoyed this video. See ya.